Hey everybody, and welcome back. This is going to be a preview video for Thursday night's live Facebook record sale. I have a batch of records here that we have picked up on Wednesday. I'm filming this on late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, and hopefully you'll be watching it sometime on Thursday before the live Facebook sale. And the sale will begin at 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern, here on our Facebook page, which is Collect Company. So I'm holding probably my two best finds so far from this collection. This was a local collection. I picked this up literally just about 15 minutes from my house, and I didn't know really I had either one of these until after I left. The first one is one of my favorite albums of all time, and I say one of the best albums ever recorded, and that is Led Zeppelin II. This is special. This is I think it's the first time I've ever had a copy this nice with an RLSS stamper on both sides. So Robert Ludwig was the mastering engineer for this album. And this record, this specific pressing here, if you're familiar with it, it's known as the hot mix. It's cut so hot and so loud that it's by far the most desirable pressing of this record ever pressed. And this is a really clean copy. The majority of these in population, I'm going to say, are VG. And I'm going to grade this one better than VG+. Conservatively, visually, most would say VG+. I just played it through my rig over here, and it plays better than a VG+. A very desirable record right now. One of the hottest records. It's a hot mix, and it's also one of the hottest records people's looking for. I mean, what a fantastic rock album. That first track, Whole Lot of Love, Robert Plant, his voice was at its peak. You just have to listen to it. So if you can open up your wallet, this is not cheap, and I'm a fan. I'm going to enjoy it while I have it. It's going to go to a new home, though, probably tonight. So be tuning in to see who ends up with that. And next is probably on the value scale, probably the more valuable of the two. This is a pretty incredible record. I've had one before this year that came from Kevin's collection, and it was a mono press. By my initial search, this is a West Coast, a 1967 West Coast OG stereo. The cover, extremely nice, just a little bit, pretty much like the last one I had, just a little bit of fading up in here, a little bit of color tone, not pure white. The banana is really nice, and the disc is super clean. Everything I'm showing you right now, I have ultrasonically cleaned. This record, I have not test played it yet, but it's got a lot going for it. If you're unfamiliar with this, this is, first of all, Andy Warhol, I guess, he produced this album. But what sets it off, what most people easily recognizable, is this banana cover, which is done by Andy Warhol. And his art right now is, if you follow the art market in any form or fashion, you know how rare and expensive and valuable Andy Warhol paintings are. So this record has a lot going for it. You know, you got an Andy Warhol produced album, an Andy Warhol cover, and the music. This album, when it originally came out, wasn't a big seller, but you know, you kind of, if you pull it up on Wikipedia, there's a quote that they always have on there. I forgot who it was by, maybe by Lou Reed. Of course, Lou Reed is on this album. He's like, anybody who listened to the Velvet Underground wanted to start a rock and roll band. So it's a very influential album. That is not a cheap record whatsoever. So okay, sorry, I also have something in my eye. I would stop the video, but it's going too well right now. So these records, they were stored pretty well. They had some pretty dusty jackets, and I've been fighting allergies cleaning them, which happens a lot when I get around dusty records. But it is my profession. I've become immune to a lot of it, but for the most part, it still can get to me. That's why I've been cleaning these to get them ready for y'all. Very nice copy here of Music from Big Pink. I have listened to this, both sides. I've listened, I've had a little bit of time tonight since we finished our Wednesday night sale. But this is an OG press, really nice copy. Music from Big Pink, like I've said before, that's an essential. Everything I'm showing you is going to be put up for auction. Normally I wouldn't be showcasing a McCartney album, but for a US pressing, this thing was pretty impressive. And it had been a while since I spun it, so I went ahead and gave this a spin. And you know, I love this album. You know, just McCartney. It's just him. First album after the Beatles broke up. Very intimate. Maybe I'm Amazed is on there. Yeah, I haven't run the matrix on this, but it's a 4-digit. It's a 4-digit. I've lost my words. Atlantic pressing, 1841 Broadway. Really nice copy, and I listened to side 1 of this. Nice and quiet. On average, most of these records, I'm going to say on average, the high-end stuff that I've pulled out, they're going to be graded probably, I'm going to say EX Plus, and they're going to play really well. And I'll let you know if we get into something kind of less than that, especially live when we're selling them. Elton John's U.S. debut. Elton John self-titled. I really like this one. It has a hop sticker on it. Contains the original version of Border Song. And, of course, it also has Your Song on it and Take Me to the Pilot. Uni Press. Original label on that one. The Byrds, Sweetheart of the Rodeo. Kind of a tough one to get by the Byrds. I went ahead and pulled this one out and ran it through the ultrasonic because it was a Columbia 2i 360 sound stereo press, and it was really nice. And yeah, we don't get that one too often. I think the last one we had from Pennsylvania was a second press. Lots of Dead in this collection. This is a copy of American Beauty. This is about a VG Plus. Green Warner Brothers label. American Beauty. Grateful Dead. Let's see what else we got here. Next stack. Buckingham Knicks. So, everybody always asks me, is it a gatefold? This is the first time I have ever seen one of these that is not a gatefold. This is just a regular jacket, no gatefold. But it's the first one I've ever seen. I mean, every one I've ever had. And this is minty, though. This is a really nice record. It is minty. We always put these up for auction. There's always a lot of demand for them. You know, I have people tell me that they see these in shops all the time. I've never seen one in a shop. And I don't do a lot of record shopping. I'm here all the time. And I think most of our customers don't get to do a lot of record shopping because that's why they watch our shows. They don't get to go out a lot. Not a lot of time. This is not an easy record to come by. And for those that are lucky enough to find it in shops, you should pick it up because I have never sold a nice one for less than $100. And this one will probably perform the same way at auction. Very nice. Jethro Tull Aqualung. Jethro Tull Aqualung. This is a gatefold. I think the OG pressings of these are on the green chrysalis label. This is the tan, but I don't know. I have to double check that one. I pulled it out and ran it through the ultrasonic because it was already super clean, and now it's beyond super clean. It's about as clean as you can get it. Aqualung, Jethro Tull. Now this one threw me for a loop because at initial glance, I thought this Eagles cover, I thought it gatefolded and then folded open and like had a 4-panel. This one gatefolds and it looks like it was supposed to, but I don't know if this is like a second cover. It's on the white label of Solemn Records, but I haven't had a copy of this in a while, it seems like. It's the Eagles' debut album, self-titled. So it's really nice. I mean, it's pretty clean for what it is. A lot of these we're going to be putting up for auctions. You know, $5 start, $10 starts, $100 starts. Depends on what it is. Finally, what I think, once again, I haven't had a lot of time to run these matrix numbers, but I think this is going to turn out to be a first press, and I'm pretty sure it's mono. It's the blue linen label. They usually say stereo if they're stereo, but it is the lenticular cover. Gatefold, their Satanic Majesty's Request, has the original colored inner sleeve. So it's really clean. I mean, it's a really nice copy. Rolling Stones. I pulled out all the Dead I could. Now, if I could turn the camera around, you would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's about 20 crates in this collection. 20 crates. I've got 40 I've ran through the ultrasonic here. So there's 1,100 LPs. You're just getting a small sample. When John gets here tomorrow, he will start cleaning these like a maniac, and we will have the rest. But I've pulled out some of the selections you're seeing here. This is Howard Wales and Jerry Garcia. I had never seen this album, but I've seen a crazy cover or a wild, trippy cover, and I've seen the word Jerry Garcia, and I've seen the Douglas 5, or I've seen the Douglas label, which I've seen Douglas 1, 2. This says Douglas 5. I got to figure out the history of that label. Definitely the original inner sleeve, so Dead fans, there's a Jerry Garcia you may or may not have. This one, there's some really cool Hot Rod records in this collection. This is one with the Rat Fink stuff on it. Hot Rod Hootenanny. It's a OG mono Capitol record, color band label. Now, like I said, there's about a dozen Hot Rod records in this collection I have seen so far. And this one really stood out because it's got the Rat Fink stuff. I'm assuming that it looks like the Rat Fink stuff, but I hadn't really got to research this one. But I figured, yeah, we definitely need to go ahead and pull that one out. The disc is about a VG plus. Love Revisited. I think there's a couple other Love albums. This is the first one. Everything's still kind of stacked. I hadn't got to thoroughly go through it yet. But this is Love Revisited. Gatefold. Appears to be an OG. Next stack. I hadn't got to listen to this yet, but if you're a Rush fan, you should know what this is. Rush pretty much plays on this album, minus Neil Peart. So Geddy and Alex. But it has that really cool song, Battle Scar, which Geddy Lee does co-vocals on. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. First time I've ever found one of these records in a shop, and the millions I've bought and sold, or at least hundreds of thousands. It's probably getting close to 1 million, but yeah, Max Webster. Max Webster Universal Juveniles. Not the OG nude cover, but it's I kind of like this one better. I don't like that other cover. It's too weird for me. Too gross. But this is a yellow Atco, probably a 69 press. Presswell, 1841 Broadway. I like this one. Oh my gosh, Steve Winwood, Eric Clapton. Fantastic stuff. Blind Faith, hopefully you know about that. A couple more Dead records. This is Blues for Allah. Man, I've had a lot of people waiting for one of these. This is going to be a nice copy for somebody. It's got the lyric insert. Really strong cover. That's going to be put up for auction. Anthem of the Dead, or excuse me, Anthem of the Sun, the Grateful Dead. Another green Warner Brothers. I think all the Dead albums are OG. I haven't seen any reissues yet. A little bit of chipping on the spine and along the top. VG plus. Self-titled Dead. This one, I think, is the nicest one, and this is the one that's usually the rough. Yeah, this is extremely nice. The Grateful Dead self-titled. Now, here on my channel, this record, I haven't got a lot of people hyped up about it, but this is a very in-demand record. I mean, I always see them on eBay, lots of bids. Discogs, there's never a really clean one active a lot. You know, it's usually lower grade ones listed. This is Lola versus the Power Man and the Money Garooned by the Kinks. Of course, it has Lola on it. That's an OG press gatefold, but this album don't come through too often. Now, I say that, and we've had a few lately, but we've bought some incredible collections. So, incredible collections. You can't have an incredible collection without some stuff like that in it. So, all right, let me grab another handful here. What's next? I only pulled this one out. We had one in the last couple collections, but I enjoy listening to it so much. I always run it through the cleaner, and I did listen to side one again tonight. I think the first two, the first two are live. Big Brother and the Holding Company, Cheap Thrills. That first song, combination of two, I Need a Man to Love. Then it goes into Summertime, of course, and then Piece of My Heart. You've got to own one of those. And this is an OG Columbia 360 sound. 2i. Kraftwerk Autobahn. I tell you, this guy has, a wide variety of music. I mean, we got Kraftwerk here, Led Zeppelin, Rush, and then there's 1,100 albums in this collection, but probably like 400 is like, I don't want to say the word junk and offend anybody, but it's like Andy Williams, Jim Neighbors, 101 Strings, stuff we got thousands of them. We just get rid of them. But then there's really good stuff, so it's kind of a unique mix. Finally, a clean copy of Kraftwerk Autobahn. The last three for sure, the last three that I can remember, VG or VG minus. This one's nice. This one will be a hot auction item. That will be a hot item on the auction block. Rush 2112. This is, now I know there's a lot of variants of this one. By the way, it's about a VG. This is probably the lowest grade record but when I looked at it, I knew it could be brought back to life if I ultrasonically cleaned it. Up at the top it says distributed by Phonogram. Of course, it's the Mercury Skyline label. I hadn't figured out exactly which one that is, but about a VG cover too. This was a well-loved record. Someone really enjoyed this one. The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. Columbia 2i. Mono press. Unfortunately, it's not the deleted tracks ones, and I'll never find one of those. Won't say never, but it's like a $10,000 record. This is a nice mono copy, though. It's a better than VG Plus, in my opinion. Pretty strong cover, too. And we have a nice, clean Led Zeppelin III. This is a really nice copy. It's EX Plus or better. EX or better. So mote be it in the dead wax. 1841 Broadway. Presswell pressing. Let's see. Wrapping it up. Now, I unfortunately didn't grab them, but I have another stack that was on deck for the ultrasonic cleaner. I am filming this about 4:30 a.m. So I have to stop ultrasonically cleaning. It's very time consuming. But here's some stuff before I finish the video. There was a Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love. I see a Santana, 2i, George Harrison, All Things Must Pass. There's some more Doors records. There's some Frigid Pink. And I've got that other Frigid Pink album with the foil cover. We don't get too often. There's several other really premium type records, and then there's a lot of really common stuff but really popular titles that I know y'all are gonna like. These Little Richard records, I think when they come off the pressing plant, they were like VG. I'm talking about they were VG plus. There is no such thing, I don't think, as a near mint the Fabulous Little Richard. I mean, these records, they're pressed and they got these. And I have to be careful when I sell these. People understand this. If you could see this disc in person, this is really how they were manufactured. It's deep groove, though, and it's still going to sound really well. And this is an OG press of the Fabulous Little Richard. I was hoping the first album would be there, but that's technically his second studio album. This is a Black Label, which I This is, of course, got like, what, 3 different versions, but this is one that we don't get as often. The Man Who Sold the World, especially as a official release, because usually the other ones are the cartoon-looking cover and they're bootlegs. This is near mint all the way around on the vinyl, and the cover is pretty strong, especially for being a black cover. Here's a Doors record. We have self-titled. This is a tan Electra, and I haven't ran the Matrix, but from the Pennsylvania collection, we had a bunch of Doors records. I'm pretty sure this is a 67 stereo. Electra inner sleeve. Pretty nice. I should have listened to it. I may tomorrow. I'm going to try to get down here earlier tomorrow and test play some of these really expensive ones. And of course, good way to end the video. One of my top 10 favorite albums. I think this is one of the best. Of course, it's opinion, but this is an absolutely fantastic record. The lyrics, the music. I've been wanting to do an official review for it here for the YouTube channel, but yeah, that's the first one I put on. I saw an OG uni pressing of Madman. I put it through the cleaner, and I listened to that right after Led Zeppelin II. Led Zeppelin II went on first. I stand corrected. Here's a few more that were on deck. Mary Clayton, Gimme Shelter. This guy put sticky notes. This is number 186. He put sticky notes on every one of his records when he cataloged them. So I found one that said 1,120, I think. So Mary Clayton is she's the one doing the backup vocals in Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones. And I want to say this is a pretty tough record to get, but I may be thinking about something else. But that will be for sale Thursday night. Number 119, David Bowie. This is Changes, which is David Bowie's greatest hits. And this one is, I didn't put this through the cleaner because it was about a VG copy. This is a pretty low-grade copy of this. It'll probably be something, after we clean it, it will probably be like a $1 start or something. Just whatever it brings, whatever it brings. And this, I hadn't got to look up yet, but I looked at it, I said, Timothy Leary. And I think this is I'm pretty sure this is the same Timothy Leary, tune in, turn on, drop out. I mean, it certainly looks like it, but I've got to double check that. See, that's another record. That's on Douglas 1. And I've seen Douglas 5, Douglas 3. I got to research the history of that label because I see those all the time, but yeah. Timothy Leary. You Can Be Anyone This Time Around. That sounds like something, the LSD guy, I guess. Alright, that's the video. I'm going to post some pictures. I've made a couple little clip videos of some sound snippets I did from McCartney, the band, and Led Zeppelin. Those are on our Instagram page. Our sale will be live on Facebook Thursday night, 7 o'clock Central Time, and I'll see you then.